Have you ever looked into someone's eyes, seen them smile, nod, maybe even say something kind like, "I'm so proud of you," and yet, something deep inside you twisted? Not in your chest or your stomach, but somewhere much deeper, your soul. You couldn't explain it. Nothing was obviously wrong. There was no fight, no betrayal, no harsh words. Just a strange, quiet discomfort. Like your inner voice, soft and serious, whispered, "This isn't real." It's a moment most people ignore. We don't want to believe it. We don't want to doubt someone we care about, especially someone who appears supportive. But your energy knows. You feel it when their applause feels hollow, like it's missing something. When they laugh at your joke, but it sounds forced. When you share your win, and there's a tiny pause before they smile, like they had to switch on the expression. You see, this isn't paranoia. This isn't drama. This is your intuition picking up on what the surface can't show you. Carl Jung, one of the greatest psychologists in history, called it the shadow. It's the hidden side of the human mind, the part people don't show. And sometimes, what's hiding in that shadow isn't just pain or insecurity. It's something darker: jealousy, bitterness, and secret competition. The truth is, some people don't want to see you rise, not because you did anything wrong, but because your growth reminds them of where they're stuck. Your light makes them feel exposed. And instead of working on their wounds, they wear a mask. A kind one, a supportive one, but a mask nonetheless. And behind that mask, there's a storm building. You might have already seen it. Maybe you've had someone close to you make jokes that sting a little too much. They tease you, always about things you're sensitive about: your weight, your background, your failures. You laugh along because everyone else is laughing, but inside it hurts. You feel small, embarrassed. Then, when you try to speak up, they flip it on you. "Relax, I was just joking. Don't be so sensitive." And somehow, you end up feeling like you're the one who's overreacting. But here's the thing, those aren't jokes. Those are little daggers, disguised as humor. They know what hurts you. They know what makes you insecure. And they keep poking those places with a smile on their face. That's not comedy. That's control. That's contempt hidden behind sarcasm. It's emotional manipulation, and it's designed to keep you off balance, unsure of yourself, and constantly doubting whether you're just imagining things. And then there's the subtle sabotage. The kind that doesn't come with a big betrayal, but with quiet, consistent disappointment. That friend who forgot to tell you something important. The one who gave you advice that led to a dead end. The one who didn't show up for your big day, not once, not twice, but almost every time it mattered. At first, you make excuses for them. Life is busy. People get distracted. But as the pattern grows, you start to notice. Their absence always seems to line up with your progress. They don't outright stop you. That would be obvious. Instead, they distract you, mislead you, delay you. And all the while, they pretend to be concerned. "I just don't want you to get hurt. Are you sure this is the right choice?" But deep down, their words are seeds of doubt. They want you to second guess yourself, to hesitate. Because as long as you hesitate, you stay small. And as long as you stay small, they feel safe. Then there's the competition. The kind no one talks about. You share something good. Maybe you got a promotion, launched a project, started something new, and instead of celebrating with you, they shift the focus. "Oh yeah, guess what I just did?" Suddenly your joy feels smaller. The spotlight disappears. It's not just a one-time thing. It happens every time. You rise, and they have to rise too, not to join you, but to outshine you. It's not always loud. Sometimes it's in the way they change the subject or how their tone flattens when you speak. Sometimes it's the way they post something right after your moment, like they're trying to take the attention back. You didn't sign up for a competition, but they did. And whether you like it or not, you're already in it. The saddest part? They're not even fighting for a prize. They're just trying not to feel like they're losing. You start to realize that every time something good happens to you, it creates tension where there should be joy. Their smiles don't feel real. Their excitement doesn't feel shared. You feel the shift in the air, the quiet resentment, the invisible comparison game. And you wonder, why can't they just be happy for me? But it doesn't stop there. Sometimes the danger is hidden behind kindness. Fake kindness. The kind that says all the right things, but never shows up when it really counts. They'll say, "I'm so happy for you," but their energy is cold. Their eyes are distant. Their support is always just words, never action. They're never around when you truly need someone. They disappear when things get hard or when things go really well. Real love is present. It feels real. It doesn't vanish when you shine, and it doesn't hide when you're struggling. But fake love? It floats around like a ghost, there, but not there. Always saying the right lines, but never offering the warmth or connection that real friendship needs. Jung called it ego dissociation, when someone becomes so disconnected from their emotions that they can't even form real human bonds. And when that's the case, no matter how good their words sound, they'll always feel hollow. What's worse is when this fake care turns into control. It starts with gentle words, with concern. "I'm only saying this because I care. You'll thank me later. I just don't want to see you make a mistake." It sounds loving, protective, but deep inside, you feel suffocated. Because their care always seems to lead to one thing, them deciding what's best for you. They make you question your path. They tell you what you should or shouldn't do. They use guilt to guide you, making you feel bad for wanting independence or change. And all the while, they paint themselves as the hero, the one who cares the most. But real care empowers. It doesn't control. Real love says, "I believe in you." Fake love says, "You need me to think for you." Over time, all of these things, sarcasm, sabotage, competition, fake kindness, and control, add up. They wear you down. You start to shrink without realizing it. You doubt yourself. You hold back. You wonder if you're just too sensitive, too emotional, too suspicious. But you're not. You're seeing something real, something people rarely talk about. The people who secretly resent you won't always show it through hate. Most of the time, they'll do it with a smile. And that's what makes it so dangerous. Because while you're trying to love them, trust them, and grow with them, they're slowly draining you. And not with a knife, with a hug. If any of this feels familiar, if you felt that twist in your gut, that pause before the smile, that strange emptiness after a compliment, don't ignore it. Don't gaslight yourself. That whisper from your soul, that feeling in your chest that something is off, it's trying to protect you. You don't need proof to trust your energy. You don't need permission to protect your peace. And you don't owe anyone the benefit of the doubt when their patterns keep hurting you. Some people won't clap for you because your rise reminds them of their fall. That's not your fault. But it is your responsibility to stop shrinking for people who secretly want you small. Let them feel whatever they feel. Let them carry their own shadows. But don't carry the weight of their resentment on your shoulders. You've got your own light to protect. And when you learn to spot these signs, you'll never look at relationships the same again. You'll listen to the silence behind the words. You'll feel the truth behind the smiles. And you'll walk away from fake love without needing a dramatic reason. Because real love doesn't make you question yourself. It doesn't hurt you while pretending to help. It doesn't hide envy behind support. and it definitely doesn't vanish when you shine. It stays. It grows with you. And when you rise, it rises too. You know that feeling when your shoulders drop? When the excitement in your chest fades and your voice shakes a little while you're trying to explain your choices? That's not because you don't believe in yourself. It's because someone has slowly made you doubt it. They say they care. They say they're just looking out for you. But if you look closely, what they call care often looks more like quiet control. They don't shout. They don't argue. Instead, they gently nudge you. They influence your decisions in subtle ways, like a snake curling slowly around your body, whispering sweet lullabies as it tightens. You bring them a new idea, something you're excited about, and they say, it's too risky. You speak about a dream you've been holding in your heart, and they tell you to be realistic. You make a choice you feel good about, and suddenly they question your thinking. Are you sure you've thought it through? Maybe you're being emotional. The scariest part is, sometimes they sound right. Their advice can sound wise. Their voice can sound calm, confident, even loving. But instead of making you feel stronger, it makes you feel smaller. Instead of encouraging you to trust yourself, you begin second-guessing. You stop moving from intuition and start waiting for permission. And that's when it hits you. This isn't love. It's a leash. Carl Jung once said, people who cannot control their own chaos will try to control others. Think about that. When someone is struggling with their own mess, when their emotions are all over the place and they don't know how to fix it, they often try to control the people around them. Why? Because controlling someone else gives them the illusion of control over themselves. It gives them order. It makes them feel safer. But that's not love. That's fear in disguise. They're not cheering for your growth. They're clinging to their grip. They don't want you to fly. They want you to stay close, to stay small, to stay predictable. And they don't do it by force. They do it through conditioning. Over time, you start to believe that you need their input before making any move. I should check with them first. What if I'm wrong? What if I fail? Let's be honest. If someone's care always leaves you feeling powerless, unsure, and dependent, is that really care? True support makes you feel braver. It makes you feel seen and heard. It gives you wings. Fake care, on the other hand, wraps around your choices like chains. Real love says, I believe in you. Even if you fall, I'll still be here. Fake love says, just do it my way. It's safer. But safety isn't always love, and protection can sometimes be possession in disguise. If someone always wants to decide your next step, influence your thoughts, and steer your life, while claiming it's all for your good, it's time to pause. Time to step back and ask yourself, are they really protecting me? Or are they just protecting their control over me? One empowers you, the other quietly enslaves you. And then there's the silence, the kind that follows your success. The emotional absence that speaks louder than any words. They were there when you were struggling, when everything was falling apart. When you were low, they stood by your side. But now that you're rising, growing, winning, suddenly they disappear. Or worse, they stay, but their energy changes. You tell them about your new job, your latest accomplishment, your progress, and all they say is, cool, no joy. No, I'm proud of you. No celebration. Just blank faces and a quick change of topic. Why? Because your success reminds them of their own stagnation. When you were down, they could relate. You were safe. But now, your light makes their shadows harder to ignore. They may pretend to be happy for you. They might even say, that's amazing, but their voice is flat. Their eyes don't light up. And deep down, you feel it. You feel that they don't want to see you win, not because you did something wrong, but because every step forward you take feels like a reminder of everything they're not doing. It's not your success that's the problem. It's what your success reflects back to them. As Carl Jung explained, when someone can't celebrate your joy, it's not about you, it's about the war they're fighting inside themselves. Your growth becomes a mirror, and in that mirror, they don't see your progress. They see their procrastination. They don't see your evolution. They see their excuses. So instead of rising with you, they retreat. Not because you've changed, but because your change reminds them they haven't. It's heartbreaking, isn't it? To realize that the people who walked with you through your darkest days can't walk with you into the light. But that's the truth of growth. Not everyone will clap, and some people will resent you for evolving. And the signs? Oh, they're there if you know where to look. Not always in words, but in the body. You see, words can lie. Smiles can be forced. Compliments can be rehearsed. But the body? The body doesn't fake it well. It tells the truth, even when the mouth doesn't. They might say, "I'm happy for you," but their shoulders are tense. Their eyes don't meet yours. Their smile disappears too quickly. Their tone lacks warmth. Their energy feels off. And before they even say anything, you already feel it in your stomach, in your chest, in the silence between words. This isn't paranoia. This is intuition, an ancient part of you designed to detect truth before logic catches up. Jung said it best, the unconscious always speaks through the body. So when someone secretly resents you, feels jealous, or sees you as competition, their nervous system reacts. They blink faster. Their breathing changes. Their hugs feel hollow. They lean away, not toward you. These are not accidents. These are signals. Emotional leaks. Micro betrayals that your soul picks up on, even when your brain tries to ignore them. And still, most of us shrug it off. Why? Because we're taught to be polite, to keep the peace, to smile back even when our gut is screaming no. But that's how we get drained. That's how we keep giving our energy to people who don't celebrate us. That's how we mistake familiar for safe, even when it's suffocating. So what do you do when you start to see these signs? You don't need to fight them. You don't need to expose them. You don't need to convince them to love you better. You simply protect your peace. Because peace is precious. And for too long, you've been handing it out to people who haven't earned it. Set boundaries. Stop explaining yourself over and over. Stop hoping that maybe this time they'll clap. Stop shrinking to stay small for someone else's comfort. Because here's the hard truth. Not everyone in your circle is in your corner. Some people sit beside you not to support you, but to study you. Not to lift you up, but to wait for you to slip. And the weapons they use. Not fists. Not knives. But fake smiles. Delayed claps. Silent resentment. It's not always what they say, it's what they don't. The subtle energy that says, "I want you close, but not too bright. I'll love you, but only when you're not doing better than me." So now you've got a choice. Keep pouring yourself into people who only see you as a mirror for their insecurities, or start choosing yourself. Your peace, your voice, your vision. Because real love doesn't compete. It claps. It cheers. It holds space for you to grow, even if that growth means outgrowing them. Self-love begins the moment you stop accepting fake love. And if any part of this opened your eyes, share it with someone who's been feeling this energy too. Someone who didn't have the words, but always felt the weight. Because this isn't just about calling things out. It's about calling yourself back to your power, your peace, and your truth. Your journey has already begun. This isn't the end. It's your return to self.